Hi everybody, we're Rob and Leslie Hildebrand.
Welcome to the Château de la Grifferaie.
3 years ago, we sold or mortgaged everything we had to buy this beautiful chateau.
With the hope that we could create a special place of learning for young people to learn about their world and themselves.
It's been an amazing adventure so far, with so much more to come.
So come along with us as we wake this sleeping beauty and restore her to her former glory.
Hey everybody, it's been a busy week and so we've had very little time, but we got to get Wednesday's video edited, so I hope you enjoy it. Here's the leftover footage from last week. Tons and tons of stuff, lots of Chateau video, interesting comments from Leslie from Fontainebleau, and then just miscellaneous work. Yeah.
I'm out to do some weeding finally after the bird fiasco. And can you hear the music? And see Rob in there? Let's see if we can zoom in. He is busy working, painting the ceiling, singing opera. Love it. See if you can see us to wave. No.
And I wasn't sure if I would have time to do more paper. I was hoping we'd get some more paper on the wall today, but I think probably the next job should be this window, repairing this window. This was a good little purchase for a couple dollars. Little glass holder, just one less thing that can go wrong cutting yourself. So I'm banging out the old one and we'll put the new one in. Only $26. $26 for the replacement piece. So that's not terrible. That's not terrible. It's a mistake, but not a mistake we can't recover from. Well, that was one of those maintenance jobs, but new glass, and it's clean, and it's installed, and it's insulated, as in like it's caulked all the way around the outside. End of the week, fixing up a couple last jobs, trying to patch these holes, and we've patched a bunch over here too, and so we patch them and then we'll sand them down to try to make them flat. That one's ugly, but we'll see if we can sand it pretty much flat. Hopefully you won't see it. And then of course over here, quite a few more. These have gone really well actually. Those are quite flat. Considering there's paper going over it, you won't be able to tell.
So we're sitting here waiting for the electrical organization to come and help us figure out why we have so much electricity going out and we're not the one using it. But while I was standing here waiting to see if the man was going to show up, Rob and our electrician and friend is out. They're out at the big buzzing box that holds all the transformers and everything. And he's just been fantastic for us. He's great. Anyways, I'm sitting here looking at my lemon tree and time for an update. Look, he's happy. New little leaves are coming. And guess what I just spotted? It's gonna bloom. And then look, there's more. Oh my goodness, there's more. Oh, I'm so pleased. There's more. I was worried that he maybe wasn't super happy. I've been just trying to keep him in the sun as much as possible, especially when it was so cold. And it looks like we're over the hump of him fitting in. So I'm very pleased. And the lemons are still very hard. I don't think they're ready yet, but very exciting. I'm gonna go check the front door and see if there's any potential cars sitting out there. It's hard when you have to go back and forth because I don't know where he's gonna be.
The sun is out this morning, and so it's time to explore the solar energy a little bit. We'll go for a walk and we'll see where the sun's hitting in the morning. It's about the equinox, so that's helpful to us. It's always so deceptive. You think the sun's in one place and then you move, and of course the sun is relatively different. So here we are. I'm starting to think this might be the best place. By the restaurant. This is an electrical box, which is very fortuitous, so we could run right into that and just sit them right out here, kind of out of the way. You can maybe see them from the chateau, but it looks like you've got complete access to the sun in the morning, no obstructions at all, and then it's good all the way until we hit sunset, and you will hit that tree eventually, but pretty good. And speaking of trees, what on earth is that? Is that wasp's nest? There's 4 of them. Never a dull moment. It's way up high, so we're not going to get to it. At least 4 of them. I don't know what it is. Webs?
Okay, it's time. I finally can pot up all these great herbs. I had a nice lady online that decided to help me out with that and sent us a donation, which has been thrilling for me. And so that has been fantastic. So I'm going to replant all of these ones that are starting to come back, which I'm pleased about. I inherited these little pots that were sort of on the property. They're just those little plastic things that I painted when we first moved here, but clearly that did not clearly do well over the last 3 or 4 years. Not a big shock. You can see how someone before me has painted them. These have been painted more than once. I still might keep them just for little pots of flowers here and there, but it is time to move on to some bigger pots that we can hopefully have these herbs last a little longer now that I'm going to be here. And then eventually I would love to have a little herb garden. But for now, step 2. So I'm excited. Let's pot them up. The sun is shining. Let's get working. Bing among the daisies. It's good life, bathing. You match your carpet. It's a beautiful day and we're all loving it. So a big thanks to everybody who's helped identify things. That was good to know about those yellow plants at the back. Yeah, I'm not sad to get rid of those then. The one at the front is actually the normal yellow forsythia, which is great. So I cut some of that and brought it in. I think I found a white vinca vine. We have these in Oregon, except they're purple. Doesn't that look the same, guys? Anyways, we have a new one for you. Actually, I wouldn't mind digging up some of these if this actually was that. Try to control some weeds a few places. Or maybe it's not, I don't know. So there was this little peninsula right here that I've always sort of thought in the last year or so, perhaps it was a raised bed at some point. Maybe flower bed or something. I don't think you can kind of see that it's sort of a, I don't know, some kind of amoeba shape. Oh, look, there's more holes. Okay, well, those actually look like boar. But anyway, that's beside the point. So anyway, I thought I'd come over and see if anything else was new growing, just to try to figure out the puzzle. More stinging nettle, not a big shock. And then I noticed that, so there's this tall bush, which seems like it's all the same all the way through here. Exactly the same. So they're probably suckering, whatever it is. But it has wicked thorns. See that? Now I don't remember from last year what this was. But whatever he is, I'm not sure I want him, even if he's spectacular. Look at those thorns. Aren't they incredible? Like, what in the world? So, and they go all the way through here, which is kind of unfortunate because I was really sort of hoping this could be something great. But there was a tree. You can see a stump way in there. And it looks like it's suckering out of the trunk of whatever tree it perhaps was, which is maybe good or bad. I don't know. But anything with spikes that big, I'm not sure I'm loving. But I mean, you know what? If anybody knows, kind of a brownish colored, I don't know if you can see very well, bark, light tan, and kind of burgundy colored overtures and sort of in rusty colored spikes, thorns. So yeah, I don't know, but it's a bit disappointing because it's mostly stinging nettle now and weeds. So I see nothing particularly good. This looks like it's a leaf that could have been, you know, not a daylily for sure, but you don't know, but I see it doing nothing. And of course, our friend, the stinging nettle. Okay, our electrician friend told us about a new brocante in a town that I regularly go to. You can see it opens at 10 and you can see back through that vehicle. There's like a lineup to get in. It's only open 2 days a week. This will be interesting, whether it's a good one or not so much. Okay, there's a few things to choose from. And that's all clothes and boatloads of toys. So let's go see what we can find. Oh, such luck. It kind of was more like a garage sale which is awesome. Like in the dishes and stuff, stellar prices, like 50 cents and all that kind of stuff. So I love that. So those kinds of things, like old pottery and all the stuff for the kitchen, that would have been great a couple years ago, and still will be. I just don't know what I need right now. But furniture was a little high. I didn't look through all the clothes and all that kind of stuff. Didn't see any bedding. Thought there might be some nice linens, but you know, definitely a place to keep an eye on. And it's fun. It's very large, which is fantastic.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. Bingley and I have a little tradition. Around 10 o'clock at night, we go out and go to the bathroom. We just, I don't know, it's a long time. If he goes out at 6 or 7, has to wait 12 hours, a long time. So we take him out. I have to put him on leash because we're worried about the owls and such. And it is so dark here, even with this big light on. So here we are, Mr. Bingley. Can you see him? There we go. It's a nice little tradition. And much nicer when the lights are on. Much nicer.
Maybe.
So these are French highways.
Yep, toll highways.
Yeah, 130 kph.
Yep.
That's the speed limit, and you pay about 10 cents a kilometer for toll. But they're great. They're smooth. They're fast. And we're going between Tours and Paris. And it's not the Loire Valley anymore, but it looks a little bit more like Canada for us, but our part of Canada.
Yeah, no question. Okay, we all love Costco. Doesn't matter the country. But my goodness, check this out. Kraft macaroni and cheese. They're like 99 cents each in America. 5 of them. $12.99. I don't think so. What a lovely, lovely place. You want to come in with me? We're at Château Fontainebleau. It looks fantastic. And it's always a great time to get some ideas and inspiration. Like, for example, there's a door on the outside, kind of has sort of like our stables kind of vibe, but they have a nice sort of cool gray with on the doors of the paint. You notice lots of light green, which is pretty common in France. And look at these fantastic topiary. Aren't they great? And how beautiful the edging is on the yard, with all of the pattern and all the grass. So lovely. All right, let's go see it. This is called the Jardin Anglais, the English garden. There's 2 gardens flanking the entrance. This is one of them, and before I go grab my tickets, I thought I'd come pop my head in while Rob's taking the dog back to the van, because sadly he can't go. Oh, fun. Look at that magnolia tree. So beautiful. Look how big that guy is. He's like 20 times bigger than ours in the foyer. I must say these fireplaces look familiar. Mind you, much bigger. And then up high, the ceiling detail has some familiarity as well. Although their chandeliers are spectacular. I spotted something interesting. Check that out. And I feel air coming from it. That grate looks an awful lot like ours. Check out the floors, guys. There's also a few motifs that are very similar to ones we have on the hearths and the fireplaces and in some of the door frames, all that kind of stuff. Very fun to see how it was used. So this is really interesting. Always looking for curtains and drapes. So they took a solid color drape and then put this amazing embroidered border on. That could be a way of dressing one up. That's a fun idea.
As we were on our way to Fontainebleau, we noticed a big fair, a grenier. I can't remember the term, but It's sort of a bunch of antiques and things, and also food. And it's also lunchtime, so it's perfect, perfect timing. Except for, of course, the rain. And here we go. The farmer's market was nothing to write home about. But it's always good to check. This is a beautiful building, isn't it? Nice town. Fontainebleau. Boy, that is a beauty. Leslie's going in. She's going to go enjoy it. Now, Mr. Bingley can't go in, so he's going to have to go back to the car. So I'm walking him to the car so Leslie can get an extra 30, 45 minutes because she appreciates this a lot more than I do. I like it too, but she'll love it. Apparently, it's one of the best furnished chateaux in France. I was just telling Leslie that I'm looking forward to seeing a chateau that somebody else is working on. Of course, with the resources of France behind them, perhaps. Peut-être. This, by the way, is how your wall should look. We were talking to our potential insurance agent for the chateau, and he was mentioning that our chateau is not very old, and so some of the French people would be less interested in it. They want something that's like 500 years old. Ours is only 165, 170. You do get the cool stone wall when you get the old house. So walk into Fontainebleau, and all of a sudden you see this big gate, private gate, and you're like, well, that's a cool private property somebody has back there. F for Fontainebleau, G for Grifferaie. Okay, walking through. Leslie just pointed out how low the chandelier is. Huge ceiling, yeah. At least 20 feet tall. And the chandelier, not much taller than my 5'4" wife. Yeah.
But it fits perfectly in the mirror.
Yeah. Oh, it does fit perfectly in the mirror. Live and learn. That's exactly what we're doing with our guest room. Okay, so ours won't be cool, quite as grand, but we do have one of those little guys up at the top. That's what I was showing you. We're gonna get that to the ceiling and drape something down over the bed. Whoop. Did you notice?
So you know how in a few places I've put gold on molding? This is very similar. It just feels so great.
Does look
Theirs
good.
might be real, I don't know. And looks.
And she said notice the gold on the ceiling. Now, in my opinion, one of the things that sets the really cool chateau apart is the floors. Like, look at that. They have such great... Is that the Versailles? Yeah. Parquet. And as I've mentioned before, it's always encouraging when you come to these. This is an A-level chateau, and yet they still have issues. In the words of Leslie, now we're talking. Notice, by the way, beautiful tapestries on the right, and then you look to the left. Hey, that wall looks like our wall. So if you just have a tapestry in front of it,
Oh, look at the detail over the doors.
you don't need to paint it or anything. That's what we need, but I don't think we're gonna find that. Yeah, that's cool. No, that's a chandelier. And Leslie's always, you've mentioned how often they'll have clocks on. Look at the size of the clock though, eh?
Oh, look at the amazing stands for the lights in the corners.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, now this is a mystery. We see an AL, which doesn't relate to our guy, Louis Ondigney, but the guy that we think built our chateau, all the history books say that he died here at Fontainebleau. So there was some kind of connection.
But it might not be the same guy.
But it's not, we don't think it's this, because this apparently is Anne of Austria or something like that. But we have been trying to figure out this connection between this guy and our chateau. Again, AL. But Louis Ondigney was not a major player in Fontainebleau, I don't think. Probably just random. Or maybe they both refer to something else. Again, you're not seeing any painted walls. You see painted paneling, the wood paneling, but then it's pictures or fabric, it seemed like it. And Leslie says this is leather on the walls. I feel like we just went into the nice part of the town. It's like nicer, oh yeah, look at that. Big hall, and then check this door out over there. Beautiful. This door. It's a fancy door. all I can think about is how much those lighting fixtures would all cost. Spendy, but beautiful. Surprising how not bright it is for all these lights.
Well, they
They have the windows all
steel
sort of
windows.
covered.
But can you imagine if they were all candles?
Oh
And you had
man,
to light every single one?
the smoke and the replacement. You need a couple people just on permanent candle replacers. Looks good too. It's a dramatic pork chop. And puree. Sun goes down on another great week at the Château de Grifferaie. We hope you enjoyed the video this week and the sunset as it goes down. I wish I would have put a time lapse on this one, eh? Wouldn't that have been great? All right, have a good one, everybody.